I'm just saying that I just don't agree with just having to hit rock bottom, because if I could do things different, I wouldn't want to have hit rock bottom for me to get to wherever I'm gonna get to.
Really?
No, because bro, it's not. When I get there, like I said it to mum, like when I was at my lowest. Like I'll be transparent, I'll be real in this one, yeah. Later on I might talk about things more, but I remember one thing that I said to my mum, one person I tell everything, is
there we go. That lovely introduction. What's good, my peoples? It's your boy Bunks.
What it do?
Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Shay. Come on, man. They know who I am.
Yeah.
If you don't know, get to know. Shay Ventures. Follow me on all socials, even though I don't post, but still follow me anyway.
Yeah, man.
Because I'll post one day.
Okay. Let them know, man.
One day.
And obviously, it's your boy Bongs, CR_SGS for those of you that don't know. Yeah, man. Welcome back to another video. I think now we're in February, March sides. Probably March right now. February. I don't know. Anyways, the series is making 2022 the best year yet, or your best year yet. So we're doing a little something different. So you mentioned something very, very interesting in the last podcast, my friend. But before we get into that, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, please. We really need subscribers and some comments and some likes.
Okay, I hope they heard that. They should have. A little ASMR.
You say a little bit louder for them.
Like the video, comment, share, and subscribe, please. Yeah, we need to get to 100 subscribers at least. We want to get to 10K by the end of the year. So to get to that, it starts now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Anywho, back to it. So you touched upon something very, very interesting in the last podcast, where you said you had a desire to find a way to motivate people prior to them being at rock bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go into a little bit more detail in that. So for me, the only reason why I say go into a little bit more detail is because I feel like that's incredibly relatable to myself, because I was somebody that reached a rock bottom, and rock bottom was the only reason why I changed my life, basically. And prior to that, there was no way in hell I was going to change it. So yeah.
Why do you think you wasn't going to change? What was you stuck in?
Life was great.
It wasn't if you hit rock bottom.
No,
because your
because
perception of it being great.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So life was going well. I had everything I ever wanted. No, tell a lie. In that immediate short-term desire, I had everything I needed at the time. And even though things were going wrong, the good outweighed the bad. So I just kept on going until I got to a point where the bad had caught up to me, and now it's rock bottom. And then at that point, the reality of the matter, like I got reality check, like, oh shit, okay, maybe things aren't as great as they are. And if I continue going the way I'm going, I'm going to die, or I'm going to be in jail. So I need to change my life. And therefore I made it.
And that was in habits.
You know what? Let me not lie to the people. Let me be deadly serious. Let me be deadly serious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I would have continued the way I was if it wasn't for a girl.
If it wasn't for heartbreak.
No. If it wasn't for a girl. So the girl I was talking to at the time, she wasn't a drinker, and she said that she wanted to be like, this was no indirect to me, but she was saying that she wanted to be with a guy, kind of long term, that didn't drink. Right. And I was a big drinker. And I got to a point where I was like, hold on, wait a minute. This girl's pretty cool. Like, I really like her, XYZ, and I don't want to lose her. So for me to keep her, I need to change my ways. But that was like the catalyst. That was like I knew I needed to change, but it's almost like now I could give myself an excuse to actually change. Even though I was going to stop anyways, because it was like kind of exam season at the same time, blah, 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 blah. But I realized, oh shit, okay, so I can use this as an excuse, if you will, and just condition my mind. And then, you know what I mean? So I gave myself a Y2 not greater than a Y2.
Okay, well, for context, people, CEO has a drinking problem.
Had
a drinking problem. During university, everybody goes to university and they drink. But yeah, for CEO, it became kind of a dependent, so to say.
There was a dependency. Come on,
a little dependency, and he wanted to break out of basically just needing to drink alcohol.
No, I didn't.
What was it?
I didn't want to lose the girl.
No, but you said that was a catalyst.
Okay,
what you originally
so the
wanted.
situation was I wanted to focus on exam season,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to lose this girl.
What did alcohol have to do with it?
Because when I drink, I can't stop.
So why are you? So exam season's done now.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's not here. So why are you not drinking?
No. She stayed around for a long time.
Why are you not drinking?
What, right now?
Yeah.
Because it got to a point where now, it's because I haven't drank for so long. So
why did you stop drinking? Like, because yes, you were still getting your exams done anyway. Like you just said that the girl wasn't the reason, it was the catalyst.
So at the start, but then cool. So then I started going on this self-development journey, and I started to find myself, and I started to realize why I was drinking. The reason why drinking was there was because the lack of confidence, X, Y, Z, and life is so much better when I'm not drinking anyways, because I can build my confidence. It's more long lasting, it's more sustainable, it's more realistic, blah, 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 blah. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've renounced drinking for so long, so let me just continue. So they call it loss aversion. So when you continue a streak, you don't want to break it. So I've gotten to a point now where I've told everybody I'm not going to drink again. So I just want to keep that streak going.
So your reason for stopping was because of the girl?
And exam season, yeah.
Why exams? I don't know about exam season because why was alcohol stopping you from finishing your exams?
Because I wasn't going to concentrate. So I would rather drink and party with Peter and gaming on COD rather than exam season. So when I go into focus mode, I cut out all distractions. So I stopped gaming, I stopped drinking, I stopped doing the thing so I can focus. So I just cut everything out. More time, it would have been temporary, and then I would have started again afterwards. But because it was like I stopped drinking for exam season and for the girl, then it just continued on for X, Y, and Z. Okay. And then it kind of got to a point where it's like, okay, also the whole situation about I lost my license. So then, okay, now I need to play the game and say that I've renounced drinking, la 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 la. And then it just got to a point where now it's 6 months, and now it's like, okay, now let me use this 6 months now to actually figure my shit out and understand myself, X, Y, and Z. And then basically now we're here. So obviously now the girl left the picture, X, Y, and Z. Now I got to a point where actually, you know what? I don't need her. So it got to a point where she left. Then it was like, okay, this is the first time she's not here, so I don't have to drink because she's not here, whatever. And then I was like, actually, you know what? Let me keep going. Let me see what else I can discover about myself. So right now it's a continuation on the journey of discovery. Because if I was to drink now, that discovery point will be taken away from me again. Because now I can just fall back to alcohol because it's the special elixir, if you will, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's why the rock bottom was there. So the rock bottom was like, basically, the rock bottom was losing the license, X, Y, Z, and being, the whole train situation and blah, 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 shit had gone left. That's why I said, okay, maybe I have a drinking problem. Maybe I need to stop drinking. But I still didn't take that leap. It was only when I started to realize that my why not was needed to be greater than my why to drink, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So that I guess that's a start to doing things before hitting rock bottom, is figuring out your why not has to be bigger than your why too.
But it's very, I would say, when you're in the moment of consumption, like let's say, for example, even like porn addiction, it's so hard for you to tell yourself, okay, I've got a porn addiction. Like outside of it, when we're outside of the addiction, it makes so much sense for you to think of the why not versus the why.
Yeah, but let's talk about it from examples. So I'll be transparent and say that I picked up a porn addiction, not even a porn addiction. I picked up a ejaculation addiction through my depressive period, because it's the only way, like me ejaculating was the only way I could basically get to go to sleep. Because my mind, I was just stressed out. So it's like the only thing that could calm me down was nothing.
Can I just add a layer of science to that?
Yeah.
One thing that's very incredible is that obviously when we ejaculate, our brain releases dopamine. And dopamine gives us that sense of pleasure, relief, and motivation, right? So so potentially as well is that it's not necessarily just about falling asleep, but also that sense of relief, that sense of pleasure.
I needed the release to fall asleep.
Yeah, and it was the easiest, most accessible way, if that makes sense. But
and even it wasn't even just to sleep. Like even if halfway through the day, like I'm just stressed the hell out and I just can't take it. Like that was my go-to, because after that I feel calm. I feel calm, and then I can at least chill for the rest of the day. So it's like that became a habit. And then my reason to stop is because although nutting, it's not exactly like, it's not doing me any like wrong, so to say, but it's a bad habit because of the kind of things that it doesn't do for you, if that makes sense. Like for example, watching porn, it's just not, it's not good for your not good for you mentally because of the expectations, because of like just the conditioning in it
of how you view women, how you view sex.
Exactly, the quick fix,
your testosterone levels.
Exactly.
All of the
Masturbation is also not good for you because basically all you're doing is tugging on your wood. Like what you're doing is tugging, like you are ruining the sensitivity. It makes sex less pleasurable. And then finally, the actual nutting, it's easier to nut from masturbation than it is from, I don't know, it depends on the people, innit? Some people, it's easier to nut from masturbation than it is from sex because you're in control. You figure out what you like and you find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
And it's like, so then you're just ruining your senses basically, like by doing that. It's just not good conditioning.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, I don't like having limitations on anything. So for that to me became like a limitation. Not only was I dependent on it to just relax, so one, I had to find a way to like, what else can I do apart from this? Like, what can I do for me to be able to relax before I go to sleep, or what can I do instead of doing this when I'm stressed out during the day to be able to chill out? I had to find that. Wasn't easy. Still working through it. and then also to break the habit of just that they act. So it's like seeing that why not had to be bigger than the why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to take away your growth from yourself, but you're superhuman, right? Like, for example,
obviously not if it's. But that,
I mean, even like the mindset of saying that I don't like having limitations on myself, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, let's say for the general people that have addictions, they don't know limitations, they don't have their awareness. So it's like, how do they then take the value of being able to get themselves out of the situation?
So taking that, like coming off of that. Every single time like I nutted afterwards, I would feel like shit because of what it does like to your hormones. Every single time, you know that feeling as soon as you nut, you're like that was a waste of time. I shouldn't have done that. All of this is like, yeah, like there was that. So that it's in that moment that I probably feel the lowest. It's after I've nutted, but I never feel those thoughts or those feelings before doing it.
Because you're just focused on getting that nut,
exactly,
getting that dopamine hit.
When you're doing that every day, and there was a period where it was literally every day. It's kind of like I was having those thoughts, and I got to a point where I was just saying that no, I need to change. And yes, I'll say I need to change today, and I'll still go do the same thing again tomorrow. But enough times, and you start to think, it starts to become a bigger. Your why not starts to become bigger.
How so? Like explain that starts to become bigger. What
it just becomes more evident because the first time you feel like shit after doing it, like you feel like shit, but it was you still done it and it's still enjoyable and all that stuff. And then the second time you feel shit again, and third time you feel shit again, and like, after doing it like back to back all the time, it's a consistent feeling, and then it's just more noticeable to you. Like like I'm in an addiction right now.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's just getting out of it like that. The hard thing still remains that I needed to get to that stage of it being so evident that I now need to work on making a change.
Okay. So you're saying that that's what you don't want it to be?
Yeah, like I want to be able to figure out how to get people to notice as soon as something is a bad habit to stop and make it a good habit.
It all sounds well and good.
Yeah, it's like how did you get that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. I think so. I watched this podcast with Jordan Peterson and one other guy, and they were talking about like alcohol addiction, right? And they were talking about, it's the biggest thing. First of all, it's just you have to become aware. Like it's almost like we want it to be easy for people. We want it to happen beforehand, right? But sometimes it just can't be done. That's just life, right? And it's like you need core principles. Like for example, in maths, 1 + 1 = 2. Like you want to find a way for 1 + 1 = 3, but it can't be. So the base, you know what I mean? So number one is you need to be aware. You need to be aware that it's like the 5-step problem, all of that stuff. The first the first way to get over an addiction is to, number one, accept that you have the addiction itself, right? Is to become the awareness. And I think the second thing, especially like somebody for me who I am now understanding, so from my heritage, so obviously I'm half South African, half Zimbabwean, my culture is very addicted to alcohol. The South African culture is very alcohol dependent, very addictive, right? So I have an addictive personality. So one thing I realized is I need to find something more attractive, more beneficial, more positive for myself than the addiction itself. So the first thing I've done, which is very unhealthy, but this is what I've done, I gave myself the ability to transfer my addiction from alcohol to sex and porn. So I used to have an addiction of all three. I used to be addicted to all three, so I transitioned it into the other two, and then from the other two, then I transitioned it into just one. We're not gonna tell you what it is, but you probably can guess what you got. And then, so it's almost like I'm trying to tackle things one at a time. Is to give myself something more attractive. So once I allowed myself to be addicted to two instead of three, getting over the alcohol addiction was easy. But then within getting over the alcohol is to get into the root cause of why the addiction is there. Because I might have an addictive personality and it might be in my bloodline to be addicted to alcohol. But for me as an individual, why am I addicted to alcohol?
Yeah, because all that stuff, I'm not gonna lie, it's excuses.
Yeah, brother, it's so simple. Yeah. So literally for me, the simple thing is that drunk Sia was a winner, sober Sia was a loser. Like,
yeah, awareness. I think that's the start, because that is the extreme. So when trying to get into a good habit, there are some people that are addicted to their bad habits. The people that aren't, the people that we want, the people that aren't at that rock bottom. Because let's say that the addiction is the rock bottom. So before even getting there, you just want to start a good habit. I think it's just getting aware of what habit you're trying to build and why.
I've got a question. Yeah. What does awareness mean? Like, we're saying get awareness, be aware of it, be aware. We need awareness.
Pay attention. Like, if you want to, let's say you want to get into the habit of going to the gym this year. It's an easy one. I know we use it a lot. But you want to get into the habit of going to the gym this year. Start with why? What are you trying to get out of it? Why are you doing it? And then you work through it from there, and then you can build that habit, like we spoke about in the other episodes, of making it all manageable, realistic, and the plan and all that stuff. And then if you've got bad habits that are against that, let's say like sleeping late, so you wake up late, or eating really unhealthy. Now you want to break the bad habits. So again, it ties into the good habit that you're trying to get, and it also ties into your why. So it's like you connect everything. So to break the bad habit, you connect it to it's the same reason why you want to make the good habit. And
it's just two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, so that's for the people that I guess have both, that have a bad habit, they want to change it into a good, or even just the people that don't have anything and just want to go over to the good. I think to me that is what makes the most sense starting.
I agree with you, but I think I want to counter your mission just slightly, unfortunately, because I think I needed rock bottom to happen. Like, for me, rock bottom is what gives me that perception of I don't want to go back there again. It's almost like a state. Number one, it's a state of pride of I got over that, number one, and also it's a state of fear. So now it's like, oh yeah, I've got the positive of what I want to become, but now I also have I know what I don't want to become. Whereas beforehand, everything prior to like the drinking problem, before it became a problem, everything was plain sailing. I had nothing to fear in my life. Yeah. So that's why I continue to go down you know what I mean? Whereas now I know what I want to fear.
Yeah. But I'll say that you can say that because your rock bottom isn't detrimental in your day-to-day life.
It was.
Aside from you losing your license.
That's very detrimental.
It's not something that it makes you wake up depressed every day. Like, it's something
at the time, bro.
Yeah, at the time. But now today, it's not something that even in like perspective. Let's say for example, your drinking problem caused you to lose an arm. You'd have a very different mindset. You wouldn't be saying that you had to hit rock bottom.
I don't know about that, because studies have been conducted. So obviously I read this book called Stumbling on Happiness, right? And there was, so number one, obviously happiness, depression, all that stuff is very relative, and you know what I mean? So it's very hard to judge if my depression is the same as yours, my happiness is the same as X, Y, and Z. But they've done studies of people that, that got into car accidents and lost their feet versus people that had limbs all the time. And what they done the study on, they tested people on when you had feet, if you were to lose your feet, how happy you would be, versus people that had lost their feet and how happy they actually are. And what they found is people that had lost their feet were happier compared to if the people that didn't have their feet and would have lost their feet, if that makes sense. So using that example of if I'd lost my leg or an arm at the time, I would be more depressed than I am because I didn't lose my arm. Does that make sense? Like, it's so hard to say if my depression would be there or not.
No, I'm not saying it would or not. I'm just saying that if things were worse, like if things were to the point where those decisions impact you in the present day, like to a point where your life is now like let's say for example you're now in a position where you're homeless. For example, like let's just go extremes, like to a point where your reality is now completely different.
Let's not do extremes because let's talk about the average, just the general public, right? So the general public, when they hit rock, what's the general rock bottom? That's how we create the relatability.
I'm just saying that I just don't agree with just having to hit rock bottom, because if I could do things differently, I wouldn't want to have hit rock bottom for me to get to wherever I'm going to get to.
Really?
No, because bro, it's not. When I get there, like I said it to mum, like when I was at my lowest. Like I'll be transparent. I'll be real on this one. Yeah. Later on, I might talk about things more. But I remember one thing that I said to my mum. One person I tell everything is, when I make it out the other end of all of this, what will it all be worth? Like, what will it all be worth? Will it all have been worth it? And on the real, in the rock bottom of it, in the heat of it, I'm thinking no. So I did not need to. That's why I care so much about helping people make those changes before hitting the rock bottom, because rock bottom is only as far as what you understand rock bottom to be. Bro, I've hit rock bottoms where I thought, nah, this is my lowest. Like it's only after last year where I deeped, nah, like this is real rock bottom, and even then, things could have got worse to the point where now my reality has changed. So
I hear you. I completely agree with you. But then this is where it ties into my theory of, now, do you think you'll ever go back to that rock bottom, or will you ever want to go back to that true rock bottom?
No, I won't want to. And yes, I understand that. I understand that because I was there, I now know what I don't want. I don't want people to have to go through all of that, like to get there.
But listen, like, as I say, we wear our scars like a badge of honor. Like yes, you say you don't want people to go there and you want to protect people at X, Y, and Z, but some of us, we need that. Like, it's just the way of life.
Yeah. Like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because this is right now we're talking on extremes here. Let's just, if we're going like to the surface level of being able to just, if you want something out of your life, to be able to make the change to get it. Like, and it comes from habits and mentality, all that stuff. It's like, you don't need to, I want to just be able to figure out how to get people to want something, figure out how to get it and do it, rather than it taking you years of life experience to realize that this is what you should have been doing, or this is what you need to do. Like, if it's written there on paper, because there's loads of people, if you was to write down, if somebody gave you a goal and you was to write down the A to Z of exactly how to do it, and if they'd done it, like, you can guarantee if they'd done it exactly like this, they would have what they want. People still wouldn't do it because of just the way, like, they haven't got the discipline, they haven't got the mindset, all of this stuff. So it's fake. But then some people, it might take a bit for them to break past that, to have them to, let's say, get the motivation or just the discipline, or say work in progress. It's, at the end of the day, there is a line between wanting to do something and actually doing it. Like what you said when in the other podcast about going to, you not being bothered to go to the gym. At the end of the day, you want to go to the gym for the reason, and at the end of the day, you're in the gym working. What happens in between that, how you got there, that's the key.
That's the key. That's the fundamentals. Yeah.
That's the shit I want to figure out, because I think that is what is going to help people to achieve stuff.
I hear you. If I'm going from a personal experience though, it's the going from rock bottom to here, that journey is what makes me know myself now. I can kick on and go do whatever I want, go be great. So it's almost like, if I'm thinking about, being like kind of looking back between 2019 and 2020, I always thought I could do whatever I want, right? I can do anything I put my mind to, X, Y, and Z. But I didn't have this sense of achievement, right? But overcoming the whole alcohol addiction and the porn addiction situation and the sex addiction, all of that stuff. Now I know the battle, literally like the torment, the mental torment, the thoughts, the X, Y, and Z, and clearing that state and the peace of mind I have now, simply being able to reflect on who I was, where I am now, who I was, where I am now. I can now do that same thing of who I am, where I want to be, who I am, where I want to be, in just in reverse order. And I think for the everyday person, I think I hear what you're saying. You want to protect people from that, and I think for the general public, from your Jim Bobs and James May and them and there, that's what they need. We want to protect them. We want to be able to showcase them, like almost be able to deliver a package to them of, if you do this, this, and this, you go through a little bit of hardship, but this is how you avoid going into rock bottom. And you don't want to be in rock bottom, because this is what rock bottom looks like. So then go and live your life. Here's your A to Z. Go and achieve it. And I'm here to consult for you. Cool. X, Y, and Z. But then there's certain man that need rock bottom, because rock bottom is the only thing that's going to get them out of there. So for example, somebody like our boy Peter, I think we've been trying to coach this guy and mentor this guy to get him out of his, he's not in rock bottom obviously, but he's not where he can be, his potential. Like for somebody like Peter, I genuinely think he needs rock bottom, and it's the only way it's going to switch him.
I disagree. I think Peter, if he was to hit rock bottom, he'll stay there, because Peter's a guy of comfort.
Then
yeah, he will stay there. so it's
he
all
won't be
down
my boy.
to,
What?
it's all
No,
down.
I'm joking. Hey, yo, Peter, I love you, bro.
It's all down to understanding like different people. I think, for example, Peter's the type where if it's made easy for him to do, to the point where all he has to do is his job, he'll shine, he'll get done. And so that's just the type of person he is. Some people are the type where they, for example, I know some people who really want to improve their diet, put on weight. They really want to improve their diet, put on weight, but they cannot be bothered to cook.
I hear that.
And they won't cook.
I hear that. So then let's then, maybe this is how you add an extra layer then. It's almost like then not generalize it to all the public, but almost cater it to certain types of people. And that's how you do it. Because I think, I genuinely believe, because now I'm hearing you on the sense of, yeah, you want to protect people from that, and put it into perspective. I think there are some people that if they hit rock bottom, they would crumble. If they hit rock bottom, they would stay there. If they hit rock bottom, they get out of it. So it's almost like maybe then trying to figure out and understanding a way of what type of people need rock bottom, what type of people wouldn't survive rock bottom, and how you can prevent them from getting into there, what motivates them, you know what I mean?
I think it's just everybody should just work for a thriving life at the end of the day. Like nobody should work to, you shouldn't want rock bottom. Like and whoever you are, whatever type of person,
want it, yeah, but
you shouldn't want to rock
might
bottom.
need it
like,
though. You need it though.
No, you shouldn't. You
Brother,
shouldn't.
I needed it. I needed it. I need it.
You shouldn't want to need it. Like you should want to just be successful.
Like, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I have dreams. Yeah, this is very dark. This sounds very dark. Yeah. Sometimes I think about I wish, but sometimes I tell myself I need somebody very close to me to die,
so that
so I can have my revenge arc on the world.
Yeah,
because like for me, I have no desire to. Like I know I can achieve it, but I have no. Like that emotion, like for example, when I got not my heart broken, but when it's the first time I ever felt this sense of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got no urgency to do anything. You're cruising.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And like even at work, like I recently got betrayed. Very long story, but even then at work, I've now got this different fire in my belly, right? And it's like I don't know how to make that come from myself.
By finding something that you want, like that actually matters. That's it. Find something that actually matters.
And I'm still searching, my boy.
Yeah, if you haven't got nothing that matters, then you're not gonna have. But a lot of stuff just comes from doing. Like I figured out my passions for certain things just from doing it, and I'm like, right, like yeah, let's go. So at the end of the day, you just need to do. Remember with the uni podcast when we were saying about just whether you just go to uni or you stay at home. At the end of the day, you need to do something. And then you figure out as you go along. So. You
just know, if not what it is, you know what it's not.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What way to summarize? So yeah, how about you summarize that for the people? A quick 2-minute bite for the TikTok.
The summary is Get your money up. Don't get your funny up. Get your funny up also if you can get your money up at the same time. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Shade of great, man. Shade of great. Yeah, man. As we say, we wear our trials and tribulations like a badge of honor, man. Yeah, man. Crazy podcast. Yeah, man. We haven't been through that much, but we've been through a lot, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, cool. That was a nice one, man. That was a fun one. Yeah, man. I hope you lot appreciate that. You know, we went into some deep places, some honest places. But yeah, if you appreciate it, make sure you share, comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you comment as well. I said that already, but yeah, if you felt that, let us know what you've been through, or drop me a DM as well on Instagram. You know, if you want to tell me on a one-to-one basis. Any closing messages from you, my boy?
Thank you for all the support as always. Keep on supporting. 10K by the end of the year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's been your boy Bongs.
It's been Shay.
And we out of here. Oh yeah, we've got an outro. Never mind.